Well, hi there. Today I'm bringing you with me to change the front tire of my bike. And in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about why am I on social media if I actually hate social media? Big dilemma, right? Big dilemma. So let's get right into it. But basically, what I've realized in the last few, well, I think years, also is just because I'm 22, like, what do I know about life? So that on social media, as much as I enjoy seeing people and facts and friends and whatever, it always comes down to just being too superficial, and that subconsciously, everything we see, we kind of compare to ourselves because that's just how we are as humans, right? That we always compare ourselves to others and to other things we see, and that kind of pisses me off, because at the same time I don't need to be up to date with everything that's happening everywhere because it's just too much information and I can't handle it. So, and then secondly, I don't know, it's a bit annoying to always see, well, how good people are doing kind of on Instagram, and like I'm the same. I mean, I only post what pictures I like about myself, stories when I'm happy with my friends or doing some whatever stuff. And it creates a very, I don't know, dishonest and distorted reality of how life actually works, right? Like, for example, last week, or I had a few bad days. Like, I was just feeling a bit miserable just because, again, I was, overthinking stuff, overstimulated with information, overwhelmed with things that I need to do. And it's like, okay, you know what? Why don't I post about that? Like, why don't I show people like some real stuff? So that's also, part of my identity on social media, or I want it to be that I'm transparent. Like if I have bad days, I just have bad days, man. No, I didn't actually need to unscrew this completely, did I? Also, I'm not good at repairing stuff. Well, I am, but not bicycles, and I'm currently doing a very mediocre job. So, for example, you can call me out on this. Oh my god, I forgot. Maybe I should just stick to social media because, okay, I've kind of forgot to loosen up the brakes. Oh my days. Oh my days, oh my days. Okay, I'm back again. I do have a super performative, I hate the word performative as well, nevertheless, a super performative kit for repairing bikes, which I only know how to use 3 tools of, but as long as it works, it should be fine. Okay, solid. I might have broken something. Woo! Good job, Mark. Have I? Stay tuned. Like, if you see me crashed or in the news, this is why. No, 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 no. I need to. Okay, I have more performative tools to try to get the tire out. Yeah. Also, if you're asking yourself why I'm shirtless, well, I just live in Barcelona and it's quite hot, and I really enjoy being shirtless in general, just because I feel like my skin, like I like being as free as possible in what regards my body, just because I like if my skin can breathe, or if I have the concept that my skin can breathe. But coming back to social media, so yeah, kind of, I don't know. I was the happiest. So going back for a second, I was the happiest when I was off of social media, and I think I mentioned this already before. But basically, when I was doing my Erasmus in Italy, I had like I was doing master's courses while being in a bachelor during my bachelor studies, so it was a bit harder, and I was like, okay, I need a month to lock in. So I uninstalled social media, I decided that I will not hang out later than 12 in the night during weekends. And so I spent most of my days indeed studying and going to courses and this and that. And I realized how much I could just focus on the things that I actually care about instead of every few seconds, minutes, just being like, oh, let me check. Like if someone texted me or sent me something or whatever, And I was so at peace. Like I was so at peace. So I'm going to always recommend this to everyone who's ever going to see whatever I'm doing. Yeah, do social media detox. Like leave this thing behind. Like you have, I think you have zero things to gain unless you're on social media to like promote something or like actually post content because you want to express yourself. I don't think you should be on social media. Like, if you want to share stuff with friends, use WhatsApp. Send pictures that are personal, you know? I think it's definitely a level of validation as well that you get when people like your stories, your pictures, whatever. But even when I had that, compared to the peace I felt when I did that 1 month of detox, it's impossible to compare. Like, I was so much happier, so much happier. And then I only came back because I had a modeling contract, so I'm a part-time model, and because I'm trying, I also have a little clothing brand, and so yeah, I needed to promote those things, right? But if I didn't have those things, to be honest, I wish I didn't have those things because then I could just do social media detox again. And it's not that I can't do it now, but now I feel like I'm trying to promote a few things just because I see where social media is kind of going to, and I want to make a difference if I can on the positive side, right? Uh, so yeah, but coming back, so I think yeah, social media provides some sad fake validation. It provides an unnecessary amount of comparative focus. So it distorts your reality like crazy. I want to show people, but it's not always rainbows and sunshine. That I think it should be like I would appreciate social media much more if people would actually have the courage and the self confidence to post when something is not going well. So and to be honest about it, because then I feel like social media would be much more a place of actual growth than of undermining your own image because of how you see others. So yeah, but nevertheless, I mean, this is coming from me, and who am I to tell you what to do? What am I doing here? I'm talking too much and doing too little. Again, you see what I do for social media again. So yeah, if I can recommend you this one thing other than actually doing social media detox, and it still has this beauty on. Lovely. Yes, so if I can recommend you some other stuff than actually doing social media detox, would be three things. And one of them is to make sure that during your time on social media, you look for something more than just validation and stimulation. Like actually, if you have something you genuinely care about, instead of maybe just scrolling for the sake of scrolling, right? Type in those keywords. Like for example, I like drawing, right? And I would type in okay, drawing techniques or something, and then I would at least get a sense of information that I actually care about while being on social media. And then obviously I will check what my friends posted or messages from them. Although I really can't respond to messages on Instagram anymore, it's too much. But I'm trying to limit that time because I see 2 3 posts or I watch 2 stories and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like what? So anyway, then moving on to the second thing. I think I need a pump soon. Moving on to the second thing. So another habit that I would say actually saved me a lot of times is cliche reading. I know a lot of people will just say, yeah, I don't like reading. Look, I think that's impossible. I don't think there's anything better than reading if you have a bit of imagination. And if you have topics you care about, I think there's any topic has at least one book dedicated to it. Like, I don't think there's anything you can't read about. And Why do I say books? It's just because you take away yourself from the blue light and from the screen again and the same, I don't know, environment of basically being on a device, which can lead to then, oh, a message comes through, if you read an article or an email comes in or whatever, and then it distracts you. So, and you go back to whatever social media you were already using. But with reading, you put your phone away, shh, do not disturb, all that. And then you, yeah, you start reading and it just makes sense. Like it becomes like an escape. And it's not that you need to escape, but sometimes you need to, yeah, get out of your own comfort zone. First of all, I can't swear, so I will cut that part. So now I think I need to stand up because I can't really do this. This is going to be a part that I might cut just because I'm not really figuring this out. Okay. If you're watching this and you know stuff about bikes, I'm sorry. I genuinely am. Oh my god, I'm being so dramatic for no reason. Okay. Okay, so we are halfway there? I don't even know. So something like this. So now I have to. But yeah, so I think I can. Can I focus a bit more again? Maybe I can, maybe I cannot. Let's see. So yeah, basically what I was saying about books. There's a book about everything and for everyone, and I believe in that 100%. It's just first of all you have to be open, especially if you've never read before. You have to be open to get out of your comfort zone a bit. Because why? Because it takes time. And that's something again social media has taken away from us. I feel like we chase short-term validation like crazy and we are becoming impatient. And at least for me, that's 100% sure. Because I can see myself, especially when I use social media quite a lot, right? That I get bored faster of other activities that take longer time just because, like, oh, I could be on my phone right now getting infinite validation in the span of 15 seconds. So that's sad, isn't it? Like, why do I have to think like this? Why do I have to feel like this? And I don't have an answer for this other than that I shouldn't feel like this and that I'm just being used by the corporate machinery and the capitalist society for my attention span to be decreased so that they can bombard me with more and more information and unnecessary thoughts just so that I can give them more attention and put more money into their pockets. Okay, I'm running in a circle right now with this wheel. Did you get that pun? Ho ho! We have the tire on the wheel. Yippee! Nice. So, what we're going to do now, first of all, I'm going to rewind because I was swearing again and I shouldn't really be doing that. We have the tire on the wheel. So, what we're going to do now, before I start saying more things, is I'm going to pump this up, place it in between the brakes again, and get back right to you. So, yeah, reading, and getting out of your comfort zone in general. Like, I know for a lot of people, reading becomes something boring after a while. And I get it because we are so used to scrolling twice and getting infinite information and stimulation that in order to read a page, you could scroll literally like 20 times if you wanted to. So I don't think we are designed to be able to process information this fast because, I mean, obviously you don't remember whatever you're seeing most of the time, which is already a bit sad because it's literally a waste of time then, which is crazy because I don't really believe there is the concept of wasting time. But when you sit there scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and then you can't remember and let's say you scroll for 20 minutes, not to mention it happens sometimes that you scroll for an hour and a half. What do you remember? Like, unless you magically send something to someone and they see it, and maybe then you will remember because you sent it to them, or you can go back to it, you will not remember most of it. So, That's why I appreciate much more like reading, right? Because if I actually care about what I'm reading and I don't just want random information, then I can read. And since it takes time and I'm more focused and more, I participate more in the actual thought process of what it takes to take in that information, I remember more of it and I feel like I appreciate it also more. And I'm prouder of myself because it takes time and patience, which I feel like we are losing with this generation, right? Because of how available it is to get quick information. So, reading, yeah, easy. Purposeful social media searching doesn't always work out, does it? Three is obviously full on detox, at least for a while. Like, keep WhatsApp so you can communicate, or Facebook Messenger, or whatever you're using to communicate. But delete like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, Snapchat, even for like a month or a month and a half, or 2 months, 3 months. Like, just do this challenge for yourself and see how you feel afterwards. And I'm not saying in this time, you shouldn't do anything. Like, this is the time to try new things out. Because at the beginning, you will feel like social media, I need it. But at the same time, let me turn that need into something else. Like, let me do something. Let me cure my boredom, right? So, like, for me, it was, I don't know, reading again, drawing, studying. I could really focus on those things and I cared about them. But for you, I don't know, for someone, it can be like, oh, getting back to play an old instrument or just practicing a bit more, going out, doing some sport, or trying to do some sport, or starting something new. Because once you don't have social media, at least for me, it feels like I gain back my time. I gain back the time that I have to dedicate to myself and to the actual things that interest me. Because on a span of a day, right? Not to mention you have on most modern phone, you have screen time, and how and the analysis of how much time you spend on each app. And it's like all that time is insane. Not to mention, even if it seems like a short-term focus, oh, notification pops up, I'll check it, I'll type fast. That's already so heavy on the brain because you take the energy to again see it, open the app, read what they're saying, answer. And now this, let's say, takes around 15 to 20 seconds, right? And let's say on average, you talk and you respond to, let's say you do 10 messages an hour. I don't know. It depends on the person, but between 5 and 10 messages in an hour, right? So that's already just a few minutes. Like, okay, let's say it's 20 seconds to do this, right? So you have five times 20. Okay, you're almost at 2 minutes now. No, don't mind me. Almost at 3 minutes. I'm going to cut this. Okay, so 5 times 20, right? You're almost at 3 minutes now. And no, I'm stupid. Okay, 5 times 20, right? So that's almost like 2 minutes per hour that you dedicate solely to this. Not to mention 10 minutes, then it's four, right? Nevertheless. So imagine you do this. But this means you also open it every time you go through this whole process. Then you might see something you don't really care about, but it's there, it's clickbait, it gets your attention. And then you get lost again for maybe another 20 seconds if you are aware. If not, then it can be 5 minutes that you get lost and scroll and answer to people you haven't answered in like what? And it becomes hours, right? Just like your screen time shows. Now imagine reducing that, right? It gives so much time back to us. Especially, I don't know, I think at least for young people, because we grow up with this, while I would say the older generations, you didn't have this, so you really have a good comparison to understand how much this new technology can take away from the time that we take for ourselves. And yeah, so like to conclude, I'm on social media because I feel like I want to contribute to the positive part of like actually pushing people away from social media. Or if you want to stay, then how to have like not healthy, but at least a non-toxic relationship with it. And yeah, because I want to help people, and I feel like as much as social media is damaging, it can also be a portal or a means to an end in the case you want to do something with a positive impact. So in that sense, yes, I do recommend that you take social media detox. I recommend that you try to read, like reading as a mental exercise. Then I recommend again purposeful social media. And I think the most basic and enjoyable thing to do while you can be on social media still, or you cannot be on social media while doing this. Anyway, going outside, and I don't mean to a mall in this case, but going outside where there's literally some nature, and as social media and meme culture this is coded, where there is some grass to touch, and just be there. Of course, you can do whatever you want. Like you can be on social media there, but I think even then it's gonna be a big change. Go out there and invite some other people to do it with, because then the urge to be on social media is also lower. Although posting about the fact that you are with someone in such an open place and it's such nice weather and the view is nice, it's tempting. It's really tempting. But what if you enjoyed the moment? You know, I don't know. That's what I had to say. I kind of fixed my bike, so I'm just gonna pump it up now and strengthen the brakes. If anything happens to me, then you know why, because I fixed my own bike. Anyway, thanks for staying, and don't forget. See you next time. And get off of social media, man. But I will talk to you more about it. Yuppie. Hola. What? How can you hear me on two now? It's not good, no? What? Okay. One last thing, I've been thinking, okay, how can I connect anything of what I'm saying to something that has been said before, right? And the most simple thing that comes to my mind is like when Descartes, the French philosopher, said, I think, therefore I am. And I feel like with this generation, even though we have so much information available, right? We have what? Social media, we have AI, and the internet in general, right? I feel like it makes us think less, and therefore we are less. It's an interesting thought. I don't know why it is. So, yeah, as Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. I think that we are less because we think less. So, that's also another reason why I suggest books. And I'm sure like people will disagree with me on this, but I, I don't care enough. I know that I'm suggesting something that's positive, objectively. So if you disagree with me, that's completely fine. But at least I made you think about it. So I think therefore I am. Yeah, now it's time for me to think about pumping this finally up and finishing this video. So good luck, stay safe, stay healthy, and ciao!